No.
So when we redo homework assignments to try to get more points, when is the latest we can turn that in?
Does anyone know? Homework corrections? When is it due?
By the final.
By the final exam.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We only have one, so you should, like, we only have one chance.
For everything, you can correct everything except the final. I really want that understood, because sometimes people think that they can only pick one thing to correct, right? That's not what I'm saying. You can correct everything once. Somebody's asking me a question. Hold on. Submitting 2 forms. Everybody, let me show you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me show you something. Here I am in mid-canvas. I'm a student. Let's see. If I go to an assignment, let's see if I can get to an assignment. Sure. Here, let me reset. Hold on. Oh no, chatting at me. Yeah. Andrea, I'm not sure. Yes, if your variable is a yes or no question, then the answers better be yes or no. All right. Uh-oh, more chat. Hold on. Yes. Okay, one thing is, in the app you've selected, for example, like Robert's saying, if you have Adobe Scan, but a lot of the other scanning techniques have this, you can scan more than one page at once, and it will collect it all in one big file. But, shit, hold on. I gotta do this so I can do this. All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you. Okay, there's my crazy ass video. There's that thingamajig. All right, here I am. So let's say I start assignment, upload file. Do you see right here, everybody, if you have multiple files to submit, just submit one thing. I'll submit one of my weird ass things here, and then hit plus add another file. Does everybody understand? And then just keep doing that. The best thing is if you're able to scan it into one big file. That makes it easier on my end. But if you submit something and then submit something on top of that, you will never be able to see the comments I put on the first thing you submitted. Does everybody understand? And that, of course, sucks. That's not good. Okay. I like it. Oh, let me do this. It's all about me. Shit, I went the wrong way. Did I do the wrong thing? No, I think I did the right thing. Me, there we go. Anything else, guys? Any other questions from homework? Questions you're correcting?
On the homework, we do sections, we do all the sections, like 1.1, 1.2. Is that all one homework assignment, or is 1.1 the homework for that night? Then 1.2 is the homework for the next night.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you know about this sheet here, right? So
yes, sir.
And then you do see that there is a turn in chapter 1 homework. Let me become a student so it looks the same for you. Hold on. Turn in chapter 1 homework, section 1.1, section 1.2, section 1.3, yes?
Okay, I'm stupid. Got it.
No. It's all weird. It's all weird. Every teacher is different. I understand this.
No, I was just working like crazy on Monday, so I didn't do the homework, so I'm just catching up.
You're fine. I don't mean to, I hope in my tone it's not too, like.
Not at all.
If you feel that way.
I'll be caught up by the end of today to 3. I'm working like a second.
So somebody's asking me in the chat, how does oh sorry Billy, how does what do you call it? If I put correct mistakes or finish, that is half credit on that assignment. Period. Just half credit on the assignment. And if you do the corrections or if you finish it up, you can get back up to full credit. Does everybody understand? So if you have 2 assignments that are both half credit, that is the same as missing an assignment because it's half and half. Does that make sense, everybody? Everybody?
Yeah, I had another question about I turned in the 1.2 yesterday, but it says missing. Did it not go through?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can check.
Will it take credit off if I tried turning it in last night before it was
It won't do shit. I'm the one giving credit.
okay.
Sorry. Let me see. What are we talking about? Which
1.2 or 1.2.
who's talking to me? CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything in here for 1.2 for you.
Okay, I'll try submitting it again.
All right.
And where do your grades show up? I'm sorry for asking rudimentary questions over and over.
That's fine. All right, let me do this. So if you hit right here, grades. Of course, we haven't taken a quiz yet or anything.
That would be where the grades appear.
Oh shit, this is not good. I'm showing everybody. Let me become a student. All right, now if I hit grades, so here I am, I'm a student. When I'm purple, I'm a student. If I hit grades, this is what you'll see. All right, now right here where it says score, for the homework, there will either be a check or there will be an X, right? An X means you need to do something. You with me?
With you.
A check means it's okay, but you should still look at it because you didn't necessarily get it all correct. Yes?
Got you.
Okay. So right there, you'll see a check mark or you will see an X.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Can you? I was just wondering if you could check to see if it actually went through this time.
oh, let's see.
And the X just means that you haven't had a look at it yet?
The X means I've looked at it and something needs to be changed. Yeah, Conrad, I see yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Or CJ, sorry. I was looking at Conrad. Let me see. Am I caught up on everything? Yes. Where do the grades appear? Homework. Oh, here we go. Katrina, what's up?
Oh, it was just for question 16B. Oh, well, now I have a couple questions because I've looked at it. The last value for 36.5 to 45.5, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All of the other ones have an interval, like a class width of 6, but the last one has something way more. So I just wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, to be really honest, I'm not exactly certain what their point was with that. I have a feeling it's a typo on their part because it's okay to have the last one be a little bit longer, but not that much longer, right? You really need the widths to be all the same. So I kind of appreciate the people that called out that inconsistency. Does everybody understand the problem we're talking about? 16B, researcher B's table. Do you see how the widths are 6? Also, I want to point out, what did the book do wrong with this? I think they were just being a little overly cautious, but what's wrong with this? Anybody?
Could you repeat the question? Sorry, I just had to put your phones in.
What's wrong with the way they did this? Besides,
Oh, because it crosses over the numbers.
yes. So this really should be 1 to 6, 7 to 12, and so forth, right? These are the numbers that would show up on your histogram. But again, I think they were just trying to be nice for you for the histogram, I think. If they were going to ask you to make one, but they didn't. Anyway, all right. So is that all right? I think that's either a typo or I don't know, to be honest.
All right, second question for that. I was kind of confused over I was confused about what the cumulative relative frequency was. And how that's different from relative frequency, because I just did all the percentages in that box, and then I think you said it was incorrect.
You see right here, relative frequency is the percentage.
Okay.
Right? So what's cumulative relative frequency?
Oh.
It's when you add the next one.
Oh, okay.
We're at 17, add 20.
You know your way around?
That's it. So at the
And
end,
it should equal 1.
we're close to it in case there's some rounding. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I had one more question about 87 to 89 for
Oh, real
one,
quick.
one
Somebody's got
four.
a question. Hold on. If I say incomplete, take a look. I'll tell you to correct it or to redo it. In either case, if I say correct, finish or redo, you just have to do the ones you missed, the ones that you made mistakes on. Does everybody understand?
And do you want that on a separate piece of paper? If I just go back and cross out the other stuff or just erase it and make it?
Never change the original.
Okay.
Never change your original work. So another sheet of paper is good. If you can make it make sense on the original piece of paper, that's fine. Just try not to change anything.
So if I just erased it all and made the corrections while I was talking to you, going
That's a-
forth,
Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right. going forward, I won't, do it
Yeah.
again. But for 87 on that one, and it's talking about how like the dude with all the bus and like the sleep schedules and stuff like that, you want us to use all 6 like population, sample, experimental, like all of those? And like
Oh,
the
are you talking about-
experimental,
No. So you're talking about number 87?
yeah.
That's in
Where it's-
section 1.4. And
Yeah.
they ask you specifically to use the terminology from section 1.4. So
Yeah.
you need to read section 1.4. You use stuff like explanatory variable. You might have just said that. I don't know.
I said that part, but I also included population and sample because they
Yeah,
also they
want
included that too.
You shit from 1.4.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So just use 1.4 with 1.4. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we go back to make the changes, you want us to like go to the bottom of the paper and put the changes on there? Because I did the same thing where I erased it out and did it correctly.
Really, the only reason I ask you to not change things is because when you go back to use this to study, I want you to see what you got wrong and why, and then how you changed it. Does that make sense? Because that should help you study to not make the same
Okay.
mistake again. Yeah, so as long as it can make sense to me, what the correct answer is now that you're submitting, you could do it that way. And I just ask you not to change the original because I think it would help study for something.
Okay.
Okay. Did I miss anything? Anybody? What's up?
I have a quick question on the stem and leaf plots we went over yesterday. So if we are plotting a stem and leaf plot, for example, question number 4 of the homework, there's numbers for the 60s, 70s, and then there's no numbers for the 80s, and then it jumps to 90. Would we still write 8 on the stem and leaf plot and just leave it blank?
Yep.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're being dishonest. You need to show that there's a gap in your data. That's part of, I want this to be a quick visual for somebody. So I need to leave the empty spots in because that's information.
Okay, thank you.
Well, all right.
Last question for the 1.2 homework, but on the correction for question 16 again, I just wrote out some like formulas as I was calculating class width, and then you put a line through it, and I just wasn't sure what that meant. Like I know it's wrong, but I don't know why it's wrong.
We don't even learn that until chapter 2.
Because I thought we went over like how to calculate class width yesterday.
We did, because we started talking about chapter 2 yesterday.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
don't use stuff in chapter 2 and chapter 1. So it's
Okay, so just don't worry about it.
the problem, they give you the classes already, don't they?
Mhm.
Right, so there's no need to do the
Okay.
class width because they've already figured it out. Like, but I mean, it's good. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. I remember what you did. You did fine. You just didn't need to.
I thought crossing it out meant I did it wrong, but I'm like, I don't know what I did
Oh,
wrong
sorry.
here.
Yeah, you're fine. You did it right. You just didn't. There was no need to because they had already done it themselves, and it was too early for us because we officially don't know that in chapter 1. Okay. Yes. CJ, you good? What's going on?
Yeah, I had one more question. Sorry about the whole resubmitting thing. It says to like resubmit it shows the old files that I've already got there.
Say again. Sorry.
It shows the old files that I've already turned in when I'm trying to resubmit it again. How do I quite resubmit it?
You just resubmit.
So if I just, how do I attach new files to it though? That's what I'm confused about.
I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, hold on. Hold on. So look here. So, all right. So if I go to practice scan,
Oh, I figured it out. My bad. Sorry.
is this the one where I turn something in? Oh, you figured it out? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that.
I was just going to show you what it looked like. Okay. All right. Everybody else is good.
I'm a little confused. So when you cross something out on our homework, it means that we didn't need to do that for that chapter because we haven't learned it.
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure if like crossing it out completely and underlining it was different.
Yes. Underlining, it depends on what else I put down there. That could mean something. Now listen to me, guys. Listen. Do you see how many people are in this class? Do you understand they're all turning in assignments? I give notes when I can. If I were to try to write explanatory notes in everybody's homework, I would never finish everybody's homework. Would I? Does that make sense? So that's one reason why I have office hours. That's one reason why I devote the beginning of class to asking questions about homework, is to explain what went wrong with certain things. Does that make sense? Anything else, guys? All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I think yesterday, just because of time, I did want to throw an example of the symbols we're going to be using at you. So we sort of went ahead a little bit and talked about the mean. So we're going to take a step back today. We're going to start with percentiles that apparently somebody was familiar with from like the SAT, which is beautiful. Let me see. Hold on. Let me turn off this backdrop. Here we go. Bam. It's loud. So today we're going to talk about percentiles. And so who was it that said you saw them on the SAT?
I did.
And do you remember, did you understand what they meant on there?
For that, I think it's based on your score. You get put into categories of, from the low score to the high score, and people who score similar to you are in the same percentile.
Yeah. So it's not really like if you're in the 60th percentile, that doesn't mean you made like a 60 on it, right? Does anyone know what it means if I said you were in the 60th percentile? Does somebody know what that means? If you scored in the 60th percentile on a test, does that mean you failed?
It means 60% of people did worse than you.
Good, perfect. That's what a percentile always means, is if it's the 60th, for example, that means 60% of the people or things were less than that. So if I said, so I scored the 60th percentile on a test, then 60% of the other students who took that test scored less than me. Is everybody with me? So does that mean I failed?
No.
No.
I don't know. Who knows? I could have gotten an 8. I could have gotten a 98. Do you agree with me that I could have gotten a 98?
Then 40% of people got 99 or better.
Exactly. Perfect. I love it. Is that impossible? No. Right. It's a little worrisome though. I'm like, did I make this thing too easy? I don't know. I like it. I like it. All right, so. I was making some weird noises. Let's do a concrete example of this stuff here. See what I can do. Neato. All right. So I'm going to make up 10 numbers. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, there are 10 numbers up there. Can somebody try to guess which number is in the 80th percentile? Which one is the beginning of the 80th percentile?
48.
All right, so I got a guess of 48. Anybody else? Does everybody agree with that?
44.
44. Okay, I got a guess of 44. Can you tell me why you said 48?
There are only 2 numbers after it, and you put down 10 numbers.
Okay, good. I love it. So 80th percentile should have 20% above it. But come at me again with how much it should have below it.
8 numbers.
Oh, shit.
Oh, 7 numbers.
No, well, see, 48
Fuck.
has 7 numbers below it, so how could it be the 80th percentile? And 44 only has 6 numbers below it, so how could it be the 80th percentile?
49.
Stay with me, guys. You got to stay with me. You know there's an answer. You know there's going to be a process. You know it's not going to be that crazy. I'm doing all this so you can come on the ride with me. So why would 49 also be wrong? Doesn't it have 8 numbers below it? Doesn't 49 have 8? Is everybody cool with that fact? If it has 8 numbers below it, isn't that 80% below 49? You guys with me?
Yeah.
But how much is above it? How many numbers? Huh? Sorry.
Theoretically 30%.
No. How many numbers are above 49?
1.
1.
Which is 10%, correct? All right, now stay with me. There's a very simple solution. I want you to understand why the process we do is what we do. You with me? I'm not doing this to drive you insane. I'm not. But there's obviously a problem with just taking the 8th one. That's not right. You guys see that? There's got to be something a little more to it. Is there possibly, now listen to me, I'm going to say this very carefully. Is there a number that would be the 80th percentile where 8 of the data points are below it and 2 of the data points are above it? This one has 7 below it and 2 above it. This one has 8 below it, but only 1 above it. So what about
48.5.
Stay with me now. Stay with me. Doesn't the number 48.5, how many data points are below 48.5? 8, correct? Aren't there 8 numbers below 48.5? And how many numbers are above it?
2.
2. So isn't that the 80th percentile?
Yeah.
Now, you could argue, why the hell not 48.4? I agree. We just chose to average these two. That is the general thing we do.
But didn't we just find a medium, not a mean?
We found both. The number in between any 2 numbers is the average of those 2 numbers.
So we found the mean of the 2 numbers, but the median of the
2 numbers.
of the data set.
For any 2 numbers, the mean and the median are the same. But don't worry, that's going a little further than we needed to. In general, I just say it's finding the average. If you want to find the number, so what number is between 71 and 117? How would you very quickly figure out what number is right between those 2?
Add them and then divide by 2.
Add and divide by 2. Find the average. Kick ass. All right. Now, let me step back because we kind of went on a little bit of a tangent there, but that's all right.
90. It's 94, by the way.
All right. All right. Now, so let's develop a process that captures what we just did and will work even if I have 2,487 data points, right? Because this is only 10 data points. I need this process to work no matter what. So if I need to find P, let's see. Let me say, all right, the 80th percentile. All right, now let me ask you guys. Math people are lazy or we're frugal with our time, depending on if you want to be charitable or not. That is just way too many symbols. So we call 80th percentile, we call it P80. That is the symbol we use for 80th percentile, okay? A lot less writing. So how do I find the 8? Now let me ask you this. Why was everybody's guess up in this area here? Why was everybody's guess over there?
Because 80 is closer to 100.
Yes, it should be towards the end. Didn't you kind of naturally go about 80% of the way in? So, all right, so stay with me. Without even knowing you did it, I'm almost certain nobody was saying, I think 25 is the 80th percentile. If you were, you might want to keep that to yourself. But we kind of naturally did this. The first step is take 80% of how long the list is. So somebody help me out. Why is there a 10 there?
10 numbers in the list.
Because there's 10 numbers in the list. So if I had 28 numbers in the list, would I put a 10 here?
No.
No, good. Okay, thank you. So when I show this example, somebody uses 10 for every problem. It's like, holy shit, no. There's a 10 there because there's 10 numbers. Now please let this make sense. If I want to find the number that has 80% below it, wouldn't I go 80% of the way in? Does that make physical sense?
Yes.
Past 80% of the shit, shouldn't I show up close to where the answer is for the 80th percentile? Of course it should. So I'm going to go 80% of the way in. And how do you do 80% of 10? What do you put in your calculator?
8.
8 divided by 10.
I like it. The answer is 8. You might not have to use a calculator, but in general, what if it was gross? It would be 0.8 of means times 10. Stay with. Stay with. Like so many things, when I'm discussing the concept, you're like, holy shit, because I have to describe every step. Once you get the concept, these are pretty quick. These are pretty quick. So here's the thing. Was the answer the 8th number? We just did
No.
that, didn't we? Before I even talked about the method we're going to use. The answer was not the 8th number. What was the answer?
48.5.
The mean of
We
the
took
8th and the 9th number.
the average of the 8th and 9th. So if this first step comes out to be a whole number, you average that one with the next one. So this first step tells you where the answer is. It's in between the 8th and the 9th numbers. And then the second step is go get the answer. So if I average the 8th and the 9th numbers, I get 48.5. All right, now, if I get, so that's if I get a whole number here, I average that one with the next one. So what if I wanted to do something like, what do you got, Jeff? P 37. I like P 37. What would my first step be?
To average
37% of
I don't know how many data values.
Well, same data values.
Oh, 10?
So this whole problem is about this. Oh,
So 0.3 times 10.
0.37,
Okay,
It would be
sorry.
3.7?
3.7. Is that a whole number?
No.
So if it's a whole number, you're going to average that with the next. If it's anything else, you're going to round up and take that number. So what's the answer is going to be the fourth number. What's the fourth number?
26?
Now listen, real quick, before you come at me with stuff. Is this a long list of, is this a lot of data?
No.
No. Real quick, do you guys understand? What, can somebody tell me without doing any work what P38 would be?
The 37th percentile.
P38. What would P38?
Oh, 38. Oh.
True, don't tell me the name of it. P37 is equal to 26. What would P38 equal?
4.
26.
26. What would P39 equal?
26.
26. Okay, now listen. It's a small ass set of data. How many data points do I have to work with? Not many. So are there going to be some repeats? Shit, yeah. You guys understand what's happening?
Do we always average with the number above it, or do we average with the number below it on occasion?
Number above it. Number above it. Now, let me tell you this. The book has a very complicated formula, which is bullshit. Because percentiles only make a lot of sense when you have a large set of data. When you have a small set of data, they don't make as much sense because you could have one piece of data that is several different percentiles. Right? So the larger the data gets, the more that doing this becomes the same as what the book does. And the book's method is really gross. I will tell you this. Is it a standard method? No. Is it an accepted method? Yeah. Is this an accepted method? Hell yes. Let's do another example. Erase all this, you ready? So let me just spew out some more numbers at you. Go, Jeff. Let's do 102. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do 14. 188, 189, 190. Okay. All right. Now, let's do this first one together, and then I'm going to ask you 2 more to do by yourself. So if I ask you to find P25, what's another way to say 25% of something?
0.25 times.
Well, that's how to say anything. Specifically for 25%, there's a very
Quarter.
Quarter?
1/4.
I love it. So we would call, we could also call this, Q1. Everybody with me? The first quarter. 25% of the way through a basketball game, I'm at the end of the first quarter, correct? Or a football game, if you like a football game better. All right. So of course, what's the first step to figure this out?
25%?
Yes, 25% of
14.
14, 11. So 0.25 times 14,
3.5?
0.5, what does that mean?
4.
And what's the fourth number?
160.
116.
116. Yay! So it's kind of nice when it comes out to be a decimal because I round up and I take the answer. Even if this would come out to be 3.07, you would round up to 4. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
So you guys do this one.
But if it was 3.4, we'd round down to 3.
No, what I just said was, if it was 3.07, you would round up to 4.
So no matter what, if it's above 3, you round up.
If it's a decimal at all, you go up to the next whole number. Yes, I agree. Somebody's saying the method is easier than the textbook. Yes, it is. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with what the textbook does. It's just way too complicated for a small sample. For a small sample, you don't have to be that detailed. And for a large sample, this method is the same as theirs. So their method should not exist. That's okay. So what does Q2 really mean? P what?
50? The second quarter?
P50, I like it. Second quarter, I like it, but it's also the same.
Would
as
it be 50%?
Yes, good. So do it. Go ahead. Do it. I gotta go get some more liquid. All right, so let me catch up to you guys. First step is to take half of 14. That comes out to be a whole number, which kind of sucks because then what do I have to do?
And the average between that one.
So average the 7th and 8th. What's the 7th and 8th numbers? Oh, that's not too bad. What's this?
119 plus 124?
What, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7, 8. Okay, so it is a little worse than I thought. So 119. Now let me show you a different way to do this. How far apart are these?
5.
5. And what's 5 cut in half?
25.
If I add that to 119, that's going to get me to the right place. So I could do, wouldn't the middle be halfway from one side as it is across the whole thing? Does that?
Yeah.
119 and 124, if I cut that in half and add it to 119, I'm going to end up in the middle. Now, did anybody actually do the average? Did you get this?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what about this? Q3. Do that. And then when you're done doing it, I'll show you a shortcut. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
Wait, I had a quick question on number 2. How did you get, is that 5/2? You go
Yeah,
to-
because these are 5 apart.
Oh,
So
okay.
to cut that in half and add that to this, I should end up at the midpoint. Or you just add them and divide by 2. I do this way when I want to do it in my head. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to add 124, 119 in my head. Oh shit. But if you're gonna use a calculator, who cares? So Q3, of course, is the same thing as P1. Q3 is also known as Q1.
75%.
I like it. So I want to do 75% of the way in.
$10.5.
10.5. And what does that mean?
11.
Round up to 11.
11. And then what's the 11th number?
182.
2. Now watch what else I can do. You ready? What was Q1? Wasn't it 4 in? So Q3 will be 4 from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shouldn't they be symmetric? 25% from one edge, 25% from the other edge to get to P75. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You could not just add Q1 and Q2 because couldn't I have made this 18 billion, 19 billion, 20 billion, 20? Could I have just made those? So yeah, you can't just add Q1 and Q2 and get Q3. Yeah, okay. What's the major important thing that I didn't mention yet, but I made happen every time I did a problem? What is true about this data? It's in
Numerical order.
Do you guys agree that if they didn't have to be in order, then this wouldn't mean shit? You
Yes.
can make Q1 anything you want it to be. You just move the numbers around. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Now,
Unless you took an average of the numbers and got the actual quarter.
what's the action?
Well, I mean, if you added up all the numbers, found the mean, and then found a half of the mean would be the actual 25%.
Nope. Nope. This percentiles are all about position. Percentiles are all about position in the data list. They don't give a shit what the values are as long as they're in order. Does that make sense? So if I made this 19 trillion, the mean goes insane. Do you guys agree with me? If I made that 19 trillion, wouldn't the average go crazy? Would any of these change? Nope. They wouldn't give a shit. Do you guys get that? Let me say that again. If I made that number 19 billion or 19 trillion, right? If I made that number 19 trillion, would the average of all the numbers go up a lot?
Yes.
Hell yes, right? Hell yes. Would any of the work we've done so far change?
No.
Nope, not one damn bit, because percentiles only care about where things are in the list. They don't give a shit what the values are as long as it's in order. Does that make sense, guys? No? Screw you, Jeff.
Yes, it makes sense.
Stat sucks.
You're kind of losing me on like where the truth is here.
What do you mean
Because
truth? Here's the problem.
It
There's
seems like this is an assumption that we're making.
assumption. What am I assuming?
Well, because we're not actually adding up the numbers,
Okay, here's the
finding what 50% is, finding what 25% is.
Billy. Percentiles are specifically defined to be what number is 25% of the way in. What number has 25% of the data below it? That has nothing to do with what the values of the data are. Does that make sense?
Okay, gotcha.
So what we've developed, this one specifically. This
That
one,
always bothers me.
sorry?
It just bothers me that it's not an exact number.
But that's your problem. You're assuming that the average is kind of like a more exact number. But no, you're getting a little ahead of me, but maybe I'll do this right now. Let me finish this problem up, and then we're gonna do something related to what your question is, okay?
The numbers don't mean shit in relativity. It's all about the data points. I get it.
Because it is a way to analyze the data that could be useful.
Okay, understood.
Because I would like to know, even if I got like, so let me tell you this. If I get my first test in grad school, I got a 48 on it. Is everybody with me?
Mhm.
My first test in grad school, and this was in quantum mechanics, just to let you know. I actually went for physics first. And I thought, holy shit, what am I doing here? Do I know anything? And the teacher told me, good job, Jeff. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? what is happening? So what? Come to find out, I had the second highest grade on the damn test, and that's just the freaking way it was going to be. So just straddle in and get ready. It's like, damn. So yeah, have you guys heard of curving grades? Correct? Curving
Yeah,
grades.
this grading on a curve.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about where that comes from in this semester, but percentile wise, I was in the 90th percentile or something. You guys with me? So in that case, did the value mean as much as the percentile did? No, in that case, the percentile was more information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, but Billy, please don't get me wrong. I am completely with you. But we are so geared towards the average that we don't realize it's not always the best way to do things.
Got you.
In fact, does anyone pay any attention to home prices at all?
I do.
Has anybody ever noticed they never say the average home price? They always say the median home price.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because this is the median. This is what's called the median. It's the middle number.
We're working from median, not mean.
Say again?
We're working from median, not mean.
Because for home prices, why would I not want to tell somebody the average home price in San Diego County?
Because it could be below.
No. Walk around La Jolla for a little bit.
La Jolla offsets the other.
The extreme values are very extreme, right? Now, I'm not saying the median is affordable, but I am saying the median is a hell of a lot better than averaging in all the 2.7 and $4.5 million homes. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Won't that affect the average a lot? Would the median give a shit if the top few were really high? Nope, the median don't give a shit. So if you have outliers in your data, percentiles make more sense. Or more specifically, the median makes more sense than the average does. I like it. Okay. Now let me. Can somebody? All right. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna try to do this. You guys have this written down, right? I really hope so. Let me write this down for myself. So we got Q1 was 116. I think my 4 little markers about dead. Q2 is 121.5. Q3 was 182. Okay. Now, I've broken the data up into quarters, basically. What's the lowest data point? Well, it's 102. That's fascinating, Jeff. What's the highest data point? 190. This is called the 5-number summary. Because math people are so creative, right? There's 5 numbers. So summarize 5-number summary. So that makes sense. Yes? Now, sorry. I'm actually sort of excited about this one every time I teach this because you guys have seen this picture before. I know you have. Has anyone ever seen a picture that looks something like this? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a box plot.
Box plot, exactly. So we're going to make one right now. It's actually called a box and whispered plot. So I'm just going to call it box plot. Sure, why not? That would be boring. Now, here's how you construct a box plot. All you got to do is get the 5-number summary. Now, here's where you're going to make me cry real quick. Can somebody tell me what I've done wrong here? Am I doing anything wrong here? Does that look okay? Have I done anything wrong? Here's my data, right? That's my point. There's my Q's and stuff. There they are. On the
Not the
number
same
line.
amount between each interval.
Yeah, so this is 5.5, but this is also 60.5. 60.5, yeah. You can do it, Jeff. I can do math. Right? Holy shit. So the shape of the picture should tell me something quickly. So the scale has to be consistent. So what kind of scale should I use so that I can get all my data on this thing? I don't know, let's start at 100, right? That makes sense. And I want to go up basically to 200. So maybe let's step by 20s. 120, 140, 160, 180. There you go, buddy. Everybody with me? That should not be the hard step. That cannot be the hard step. There's enough other shit that's going to be the hard steps. Okay. But just make sure your scale is consistent. It's got to be, or else you're lying, right? Here's the next thing. Put a line above each of these where they sit. So like, for example, 102 is about right here, right? Here's 102. 116, about right there. 121.5, right there. 182, that's not a 182 jet, right above there. And 190 is right in the middle of those two. Can we stop for a minute? Nothing amazing has happened yet. You're like, yeah, it's pretty summarizes this course so far. So here's what I do. Box and whisker. I like box and whisker because you box the middle three. See there? You box the middle three. And then these are your whiskers. So if this...
Why did you put the line in the middle of the box where you put the line?
I didn't put the line in the middle of the box.
I mean, it's not in the middle of the box. Why did you put the line there?
All
Right
hold on.
there.
Let me back up. Back up. Were you okay when I had these up here a minute ago? What are each of these? What are each of those?
Oh, the quarters.
Below Q1, Q2, Q3. That's all I did. And then I boxed the middle three off. And whiskers to the outer edges. Now, can somebody tell me what's in the box? What's in the box? What? Does anyone get that reference? What percentage is in the box?
Is it 50%?
Yes. Why does it make sense? What percentage is below 182? Well, it's Q3, so what percentage is below this? It's Q3. What percentage is below it?
75%.
75%. And what percentage is below this? Q1?
5.
25. So what percentage is in the between 75 minus 25? 50%. There's always 50% in any box plot box.
The box is just 50%.
Yes. Box is 50% of the data. So what if these were bowling scores? You guys, anybody ever went bowling?
Mhm.
Anybody ever been sober when they were bowling?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not sure what that's like. Now,
Not even when I was 6.
oh, okay. Well, this is a group therapy session. Now, what if another group, so let's say this is us, let's say another group has theirs look like this. Right? Which group is better at bowling?
Group 2?
Definitely group 2. For a lot of reasons. I should have made something a little bit, even if I do this, even if I do that, isn't groups 2, 50% of their bowlers are up here, whereas 50%, in fact, 25% of our bowlers are down there. So wouldn't they overall get a higher score than we would? So this is the key. These are very, very quick visuals to make that allow you to compare two different sets of data. Are you guys kind of with me? So I
I thought
don't
you
know.
were only as good as your weakest member.
Well, in bowling, you can overcome that, right? This guy gets up and then these guys go. This is the one that's sober, I think. I don't know if that's how it works. Has anybody looked at colleges? Are you thinking about transferring to college? Have you guys looked at, for example, there's all these guidebooks, and in a lot of them, they tell you like the middle 50% SATs and the middle 50% GPAs. Have you guys ever seen that kind of information for a college? No? Sort of, maybe. This is where that comes from. The middle 50% is sort of like ignoring the under and overachievers and just talking about the heartland, right? Heartland of the college. All right, maybe. Okay, I think I'm trying to sell you too much on the box plots. Just you have to know how to make them. They're pretty straightforward. Now, let me see what time it is. Do you guys want to take a break now? Or do you want to do one more thing and then take a break? One more thing. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. See, one more thing. Okay. I'm gonna erase all this. So the quickest way to talk about this idea, does anyone know what that is?
A
Bell
bell
curve.
curve.
Yes, it's the bell curve. I like it. It's also called a normal distribution. So a normal distribution is symmetric down the middle, right? It's like a reflection of itself, all this kind of stuff. So chapter 6 is where we're going to focus on this. We are going to talk a little bit about this in section 2.7. So why am I drawing it up here right now? Because how is this different from a normal curve down here? How is that different?
It's skewed to one side.
Okay, look at you go. I was thinking about this. If this is a big blob of taffy, do you guys know what taffy is? Taffy? Yes. So if I grab this side and pulled it, it would become this, yes?
Mhm.
So which way did I pull it?
To the right.
So it's skewed right. That's how you know which way it's skewed. So obviously what's true about this guy?
Skew to the left.
Skewed left. These are also known as the Jabba the Hutt. Oh, no. Body and big tail. No. Jabba the Hutt. No. All right.
Yeah.
So there's a whole section devoted to symmetric distributions, skewed distributions. What do you think is true about the mean? Like here, would you guys agree with me that this is the most? This has the most stuff right here. It's actually called the mode, right? The mode is what we determine is the data point that occurs the most. Where would the mean be? Like right here, the mean is right in the middle. Where would the mean be here? Would it be down there? Would it be where the mode is? Would it be up here?
It'd
It
be
would also
the
be
average
right.
of all the numbers.
True. Where would it be?
The mode.
No, no. Aren't there some outliers up here?
Drag to the right.
It would be up here somewhere. Exactly.
Mm.
Because these big numbers are going to bring the mean up a little bit. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, let's do it. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll do. We'll get back into doing the mean, the median. no job. The mean, the median, the mode. I basically just presented all of those things, so that'll be pretty quick. And we'll see how far we can get. So go ahead. Let's take. What time is it? Let's come back at. What time is it?
2:30.
Yeah, let's come back at 2:45. Is that all right?
All right.
And then I'll let you out a little early again. A little early. Don't get too excited. All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Let me. Gosh. Is everybody back? Hello? There we go. Come back. Come back. All right. Hello. So let's talk about what did I say? We're going to measures of center So we've already talked about, actually, let me ask you this. All right, I've got this practice thing up here. Let me see what you guys want to do. Yeah, students come back. All right. Hold on, here we go. I've got this sheet here. Let me become a student. Oh, I can't become a student. Hold on, sorry. Let me make this active. Oh, I think I did. It's all right, Jeff, you'll be fine. Right here, chapter 1 practice in unit 1. You guys see that? Oh yeah, we did this already. So what are you talking about, Jeff? I thought I had something else up there. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Histogram stem plot in unit 2. So yesterday we talked about histograms and stem and leaf plots and all that kind of stuff. I get the sense that I'm not really sure how you guys feel about breakout rooms, to be honest, but let's do this. Maybe we do this together just to make it go quicker. So let me open this a different way so I can use it better. Jeff, really, Jeff? You had 15 minutes. You could have gotten this ready. All right, get off my back. What's this thing called? Crap, now it's in my brain, that song. Baby, come back. Dadgummit. All right, now just do this here. Yeah, just save it. Hold on, everybody. You're all like, that's what we're doing, buddy. You're the one doing stuff. Okay, here we go. Yeah, whatever. All right. So let's do this together. Okay, so if I need to make a stem and leaf plot of this data, what does that mean? What do I need to put down here?
A key.
Yeah, a key. Okay, but before I do that, I should probably have the thing that the key is going to describe, right? So what are my stems?
1, 3.
No?
Oh, 1, 2.
There you go.
5, 3, 4.
It goes up to 50s, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing about stem and leaf. You can use it to help sort data. So let's see, I got 12. What else do I got? 16. I think I've only got 2 in the
13.
Oh, 13. There you go, Jeff. So I put 2, 3, 6. I can sort of put them in order as I go. Right? I don't have any 20s, but I still have to have a 2 here so I can show that this is empty. And then my 30s, let's see, I've got 31. Jeff, there you go, buddy. 32, 32, 33, 35, 37, 38. I think that's all my 30s. All right, so this is not too bad. This is nice, right? And then my 40s, I got 41, 41, 45, 46. And then my 50s, I just have 50 and 52. And then you can always double check and count how many things you have in your stem and leaf, and then count how much data you've got just to make sure you didn't miss anybody. Everybody with me? And now, like you said, it's not done. So I'll put down a key. What do you want to put for the key?
1.
10.
Maybe use something that actually exists.
2.
Yeah,
Equals to 12.
I like it. Okay. Sweet. Not too bad, right?
Wait, why is the key 12?
The key could be any of the data points.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not a bad idea to use the first one that's up there. Yeah. It could be any of them because it just shows a general format. And you're right. Sorry?
Why you put 2?
Say again.
Why do you put 2?
Oh, here you
Number
go.
2. Yeah.
Because if I turn my head, these look like boxes, and this would be an empty class.
Oh, okay. So okay.
So it's important to show the gaps in the data in any visualization of data. So if these are ages, I can very quickly see, oh, there's nobody in their 20s.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
I like you're ready. I mean, you're welcome. Good Lord. What did my brain? That's concerning. I've connected two words incorrectly in my brain. Sorry?
So too much mystery drink.
or not enough. I'm gonna go with not enough. Here we go. All right. Let's see what I come up with now. Number 2 is a little weird. Number 2, I just to show you there's a little bit of flexibility with stem and leaf. So I'm just gonna I kind of gave this away. I used to just have students try to come up with their own thing. And then I was getting a lot of people not able to get it. But what I could do here, we're not gonna do this all the way out because this is kind of long and involved. I don't really want to have us sitting here doing this, but look, I can make, isn't that different than normal? Obviously, right? I got 2 4s and 2 5s. And the reason is, do you see how there's only a 4 and a 5 stem? Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that not give me enough resolution? Does that make sense in my stem and leaf? Just to have 2 big ass rows, it doesn't really tell me where things are. So I can kind of break them up. So then I would put like, we're not going to do this whole thing. Hopefully you guys are cool with that. There's a 4.0. There's a 4.0. So I could put an O, right? And then there's a 4.2. and then once I get to 4.4, 4.5s would go here. Does everybody see that? I'm not even saying that's ever going to happen to you again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is not even necessarily going to happen on the quiz. It's not even going to necessarily happen in the homework. I just wanted to show you that you even have more flexibility. Now the key would be exactly the same as always, right? But the 4.0, of course, because it doesn't mean 40. So pretty cool with that. We're not going to do the whole thing. Hopefully you guys see it's really just busy work now that you see how it works. So 4.6 would go there. And then this would be 5.0 up to 5.5, 5.4. And then this would start at 5.5 up to 5.9. So I'm just cutting them directly in half so I get better resolution. It's like making more classes for a histogram.
But this is just to avoid making one really long
Yes.
one at the end.
So you can imagine if you only had one stem, you can actually break it up even more. Right? Okay. I'm glad somebody got a kick out of that. Now, so don't worry too much about this. This is my final word on this. It's just, I like to show you there's a little more flexibility than what we normally just teach. All right. Now, when I say Johnson and Johnson, I think that has a different meaning to a lot of people now. Did anybody get the Johnson and Johnson one and done shot? I got the Moderna, and the second one kicked me on my ass for like a day. I was just staring at my ceiling. Just please let's say. Anyway, say again.
I got sick.
Yeah, me too. I'm really hoping. Okay, nobody. Okay, that's all the comments about that because I don't want any anti-vaxxers to show up. I don't want to know you're here. All right, so if you're an anti-vaxxer, keep it to yourself. Thank you. All right, now, how many consumers were surveyed? So I asked people weeks of, how many weeks a bottle of shampoo lasts for them, right? How many people did I talk to total?
20.
Where would you look at?
20?
Sorry?
20.
How'd you get 20?
A frequency?
Yeah, so how many are in this first class?
11?
11. Yeah, how many are in this next class?
6?
6.
2, 1. So if you add all those up, you get 20. I like. Is everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely the frequency. Frequency is the number of things, in this case, people. How many classes? Let me ask it this way, just to help out. How many empty classes are there?
2?
So how many total classes are there?
5? 6.
There we go. Oh, you're fine, Fiona. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is sort of like that empty spot in the stem and leaf. Same reasoning, right? So there's 6 classes. Do I have to calculate this, or can I just see this? Can't I just see it? Didn't they make this? What's the class split?
20?
Yeah, it's just how wide is every class. Every class is 20 wide, correct? I like it.
Is the frequency the same as the sample?
No, sample is a group. Frequency is a number of things in a class. Does that answer the question? Frequency is just a number of things that occur within some class, and a sample is a group of things that you pick from a population. Yeah. Now, if you're asking, does the answer to part A relate to sample size? Yes, 20 is the sample size. So the sum of the frequencies is the sample size. Is that more like what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how are you going to answer this one? For what percentage does a bottle of shampoo last at least 40 weeks?
You do 11 plus 6?
11%? How do you figure that?
No, I said 11 and 6. Do you add them together?
Oh, but it's at least 40 weeks.
Oh. So
Yeah, so I always think
Would it
at least and at
be-
most, I think for at least, I think you have to be at least this tall, so that tall or more. And at most, you can be at most 12 and you eat off the kids menu.
So 3.
would it
Yeah.
be 15%?
So 3 is not right. I want a percentage. So how did you get 15? Because you get
11
3 out of
Divided by 20?
20, because there's 20 total people, right? How
Mhm.
do you calculate any percentage anywhere? It's the amount that matches what you're looking for divided by the total. Okay, Robert. All right. So yeah, once you do this, you get 15%. Is that cool, everybody? Of course, the quick way to do that is to multiply 5, 15 out of 100 is 15%, because percent means out of 100. All right. Most of you guys should know that. All right. Moving on. So let's do this. How many of you guys have your calculator at this point?
Mhm.
All right. We're actually gonna use it. Can you believe that shit? You're like, oh, thank God. I'm so sick of definitions. Can we just plug some numbers in and do something? Yes. So what I want you to do, is everybody able to see this on your own?
Mhm.
Is anybody relying on me sharing this right now?
Yes.
You are relying on me. Okay. Well, you know, it's nice to be relied on. Okay, so let me show you what I want you to do, and then I'm going to come back to this. So I'm going to share my virtual calculator with you. Doesn't that sound exciting? Hold on. Virtual calculator, what are you doing? They're waiting for you. Where are you? All right, everybody just, oh, here he comes. Come on, calculator. There he is. Okay. Let me move him over here so I can do some shit. Get over here. No. All right. So what I'm going to do, what I want you to do also, get ready. All right. Who's actually, did you guys notice I have a video up on Canvas that's like a calculator workshop video?
Mhm.
Anybody notice that? All right. So if you've never used this calculator before, you might want to watch that. They're not going to offer those workshops over the summer, unfortunately. I am always available in office hours and whenever you want to email me, whatever, to help you out with using the calculator. So has anyone never used this calculator before until right now you're about to push some buttons for the first time? Anybody? Okay. All right. So here's that one button. And if you've used a scientific calculator before, they are beautiful because when you type stuff in, it doesn't You can see everything you've typed in. So everybody do this with me, trust me. Just everybody do 89 minus 6/7, minus 6 divided by 7. This calculator understands order of operations. You guys okay with what I just said? What's order operations? What is it?
PIMDAS.
PIMDAS. Please excuse my dumbass son. Sorry.
They gave us that example before.
Or you can say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally if you want to be boring. All right, I'm about to share with you something that my algebra class came up with by themselves. Do you understand? It wasn't me. Please excuse my deficient algebra skills. They came up with it. I came up with the dumbass son thing. I'll take credit for that. Now, so that means it would divide and then subtract, correct?
Mhm.
So if you don't put something into the calculator correctly, it will do it correctly and give you the wrong answer because we're the humans, we're supposed to know how to put shit in. Now, one of the coolest buttons on here is right above the negative button. Do you see where it says A, N, S?
Mhm.
The answer button. So watch this. If I wanted to take the square root of this, do you see how the square root button is right there? If I hit second, this button here, so the second is like a shift key. And then I could do second negative button. So what this means is it's the last number that's on the screen. So that's going to do the square root of this thing. Bam. And 9 point something makes sense because 81 would be 9. So 88 should be a little more than 9. That makes sense. Is everybody with me out there?
Mhm.
And then if I wanted to do like 45 divided by that, right? So that has the last number on the screen in memory. So now ANS is 4.79, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I got some people getting bored. I understand. So which button do you think we're going to use the most in this class?
Stat.
Yes, it's like right in the heart of the calculator, right there. Right. So let's click that button and see what we see. We see something. We see is this kind of anticlimactic here. It's like, oh shit! But somehow I can sort data. I can clear stuff. I can do weird shit. So if you hit edit, this is where you put data in. Does anyone have something weird happening? L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. Does anybody have something weird happening up here? Is everybody okay?
Mhm.
Watch this. You ready? Look at that. Watch. If I hit delete, do you see how my L2 is gone? Don't do it.
Oh,
Are you guys with me out there? Well, if you do, it's okay. If something is weird with your lists, like you're missing one of them or one of them is called Fred, you can actually name these sometimes.
How did you get to the list?
Oh,
Can you
so
do that one more time?
hit stat, edit.
Stat. Okay. Got you.
Okay, now my list 2 is missing. If I hit stat number 5, setup editor, enter. Now when I go back in, my list 2 is back. Okay, so if anything weird happens with your lists, if you accidentally kill a list, you can bring them back. So what I want you to do right now is to input. Now watch this. I got shit in my lists here, right? I got stuff. If I just go up to list 1, for example, and hit clear, that's how I clear it. Don't hit delete because then you'll kill the poor little dude. So let me just clear these. Get a nice blank slate. Bam. All right. So let's put the data in for that problem. What was it about? Heights, right? Where'd it go? Number 4 problem about father's heights. Are you guys with me?
Mhm.
Like 66, right? This is the exciting part of stats is just data entry. Oh, this is exciting. Oh boy, I hope I didn't miss anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20. Oh, good. Okay. All right, I think I got everybody. I really, really, really hope I got everybody. Is everybody okay? Technology Day is always exciting. Don't hesitate to speak up if something weird happens.
Yeah, can I see the list with the
I'm
data
sorry.
on it
Yeah,
again?
yeah. Sure. Hold on.
So I can enter it in.
Yeah, I guess so. There you go.
You went fast, dog.
I'm missing my L1 when I click on stat and go to the edit. And when I do second and go to list, it has.
No. Go to stat, hit stat.
Mhm.
Now you see option 5 says set up editor.
Okay.
Go to there and hit enter so that it says done.
Okay.
And then when you go back in, stat edit, your list 1 should be back.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. One of the worst things about several processes we do is getting data in order. Could you understand if I gave you even something like this, which is not like really long, it's just 35 numbers. Wouldn't it suck to have to put that in order by hand? Would you look forward to that? No. So the damn calculator, it costs a lot of money, better freaking be able to do that. And thankfully it can. All right, is everybody ready? What's happening? All right, I am going to stop sharing and see if anybody yells at me.
Wait.
Did you need?
I need like, I'm almost there.
All right. I wasn't clear.
Last column.
It's the last call. Gotcha. One bourbon.
Got you. Okay.
And one beer. All right, now. Oh shit, where are you guys? Old man using technology. Watch out. Here we go. So I got it all in there. So if I go back to stat, there's 2 options for sort. This is sort ascending. This is sort descending. Right. So I want to go from low to high. So let me go ahead and sort ascending. And you notice how it's got a parenthesis like it's a function, like it wants an input. You got to tell it which list to sort. Can you guys see where the lists are?
Mhm.
Like above number 1, it says L1. So if I hit second 1, now I can sort the stuff in L1. So now, and again, I love it when I do this. It's so anticlimactic. Done. Oh, okay. We got to go back in, stat, edit, and now it's all in order. Yay.
Fuck, where's edit?
Huh?
I just said fuck, where's edit?
Oh, well, shit. The minute you hit stat, the very first option is edit.
Duh.
That's okay.
It's a long day, man.
Is it true? I didn't notice. Now,
I've been up since 6.
Now, let's come back to this. Everybody should have your own in order list. So let's come back to this. So now this kind of stuff should be quick. I was really nice on this worksheet. I told you how many classes to use, and I told you what the formula was. I'm not going to do that on quiz 2. You're going to have to pick your own, and you have to remember this formula. So what is, now that you got your sorted list, somebody tell me what's the highest number? What's the last data point?
79.
79, okay. And what's the lowest number?
61.
61, and I want to use 5 classes.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys get for that? Oh, sorry.
3.6.
Sorry, somebody's asking me, hold on. So to sort it, you would go to stat. We're going to sort ascending. So hit 2, and then tell it which list to sort. Okay. And then when you're in there, now it's all sorted. Sorry. So coming back here, what'd you say again? Sorry.
3.6.
3.6, and then of course you take that up to
4.
You never have to use a decimal for your class width. Oh my God, that would suck. So don't do that to yourself. I always have somebody use 3.6 down here, and that sucks.
Is this the same case where we always round up, or do we round?
Exactly. Remember, it's always better. You always can over cover everything, but if you round down, you're going to end up not covering everything. You want all the data to have a house to go in.
Okay.
So if you round down, the last few data points have nowhere to go. It's like, oh. Okay. So how do I set up my first couple classes then? Well, what I put here, where do I start?
61.
Yeah. So I would highly suggest you always start at the lowest data point. Now, technically you could start at 60 if you wanted to be honest, but why not just start at the first data point? Now, I don't know what method you guys prefer, but I'm just going to do the textbook method first. Where should this next class start if they are supposed to be 4 apart?
65.
Good. So then what number should go here?
64.
Perfect. Did everybody follow? And again, that's just a drawback of that method. The other method, let me do this in blood red. All right. So the other method would be so that you can actually see the class width across and down, right? So you can choose whichever method you like better. Blah, 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 blah. So let's continue this way. So now you can just keep adding 4 down because that's how wide they're supposed to be. That makes sense, Jeff. Let's see if you can do this. Oh my gosh. By George, I think he's done it. Did I do it? I did something wrong. I don't have faith in myself. Oh, okay, let's go. And now that it's all in order in the calculator, the frequency should be very easy now, right? This would kind of suck having to cross through this shit, but now I can just look at the calculator. How many data points fall in this first class?
2.
2. 61 is 61, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just keep going. So 65, 66, 66, 77, 8, 8. Are there more 8s? 8, 8. Holy crap and a half. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that 11, right?
Got 11.
Okay. Like, if I'm going to be wrong, I want somebody with me.
Yeah. 11.
Okay, all right, maybe I'm right. So then 69 to 72. Ooh, I get a lot there. What do you guys get? Anybody?
12.
I get 13.
I got 13.
11. Oh, 12. 13.
Okay.
13.
Coolness. And then, and remember, this is heights. So it would make sense that there be most in the middle, right? Not a lot of short people, not a lot of tall people. Let's see. 73, 76, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeff, can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. 7. Wait.
7.
7. Thank you. I can't count. You're not supposed to know that. Let's see, 77. I only get 2 in this last one.
Yeah.
So then a really quick check. What is this supposed to add up to be?
30,
Three people was in the class. Forgot.
How many people we talked to?
35.
35.
So let's see, what does it add up to be? 26, 35, thank God. So some of you guys right there in your homework, you now understand why I was saying was supposed to add up to 40 in that problem you had to do, right? Yeah, all right. How do I create relative frequency again? What's another name for relative frequency?
The percentage?
Good. So what percent is in the first class? So it'll be 2 out of
35.
35, whatever the hell that is.
0.06.
6. Okay. So we'll say that's fine. And then 11 out of 35.
0.31.
Sounds about right. So I'm just going with what she's saying, unless somebody else says something different. So that's going to be 0.37.
0.37. Yeah.
Okay. And real quick, do you guys see that? If 2 is 0.06 and 11 is 0.31, then 13 is 2 plus 11, 0.06 plus 0.31. Anyway, all right. And then 7, this is going to be the easy one.
0.2.
Because 7 over 35 is 1/5, which is 0.2. And then this is the really easy one because you already did that for me earlier. And now if we add these up, what should they add up to be?
1.
Yeah, they should add up to be 1 or close to it. If we round it, it might not come out to be exactly 1. Let's see, does this come out to be 1? It looks like it. Cool. And this, I know it's called cumulative frequency, but it's always understood to be cumulative relative frequency. So you add up the relative frequencies. And you can write them as a percentage or as a decimal. I'm just going to write them as a percentage. So very cool. So I get 6%, and then I got 31 more percent. So now I got 37, and then I got 37 more percent. So now I got 74, and I got 20 more percent, and I got 6 more percent. You guys doing okay? I could tell through the class as more and more cameras shut off. I get, like everybody's getting tired. All right. Like I don't want people to see me as I'm dozing. Oh, somebody left. So now I can.
The relative frequency is a decimal point, and the cumulative frequency is just simply making that into a percentage.
No, I could have put the percentages here too, to be really honest, because 0.31 is 31%. So I could represent that either way.
So what's the difference between relative frequency and cumulative frequency?
Cumulative
Can you not
adds
see-
up the
can-
previous.
Hey, wait. Can you not see a difference?
Oh,
So here's 6% so far, 31, now I got 37% so far, plus another 37 is 74% so far.
got it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Can we
that's what's
leave it in
called
the form
cumulative.
of decimals?
Sorry, so say again?
For cumulative relative frequency, can we leave it in the form of decimals to equal 1 instead of percentages up to 100?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
I just did one way, the other way, because you could do it either way. Yep. Now, which column do I want to use to help me figure out this based on what I'm asking you to create?
Frequency?
No.
Or relative frequency? Sorry.
Yes. So I want a relative frequency. So I want this stuff here. I'm going to write them as percentages just because that's what I'm used to doing. What's the highest percentage I need to represent?
40 or 37?
37. So I could, I could go up to 40 to make, so I could maybe do it by 5s, 5, 10, 15.
Wait, can you scroll back up for a second?
Yeah. What's up?
I just want to check my numbers. I missed one. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right, got it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, just barely, Jeff. This will be relative frequency. otherwise known as real freak. Now, if you do it this way, what do I have to put down here on this scale? Where do I have to start off if I'm doing it this way?
61,
No,
Or 60?
60.
no. I go up and down by
Oh,
half.
Oh, 60.5?
60.5. Because if I push 64 up to 64.5, and I push this one down to 64.5, they line up. Do you see that? That's the whole idea, is I don't want any gaps, because the gap would mean an empty class. All right, hopeful. Now, some of you guys are like, why the shit do we do things this way? Why didn't we do it this way? Well, we weren't there. Too bad for us. But, all right. And now I can just keep adding 4 because that's the class width. Do you guys see what I mean? You can just keep adding 4. I think I'm at the end. No, I think there's one more. Is there? I can't remember. Yes, good job. And now should be the easy step, right? Well, one thing is, what's the label here? What do I put down here?
The heights.
Father's heights, yes. Heights of fathers. Like city of men. All right. And then now is the easy part. You just make a rectangle as tall as it's supposed to be. So what's the rectangle supposed to be here? It's supposed to go up to 6%. So just a little over 5. And then the next one's supposed to be 31. So a little bit over 30. And then 37. So it's supposed to be about halfway there. Oh well. And then 20 and 6. So it's going to look like it's kind of flipping us off. But we are going to not get upset at a picture. Okay. Would you say that this is roughly bell curved?
yes.
Not perfectly bell curved, but roughly bell curved. Where's the big problem that doesn't make it better? If only this one was.
It's not symmetric, that we're a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's not. If only this one was shorter, maybe, right? Or if this one was taller, either way. Yeah. Okay. All right, good. All right, so that is the first part of chapter 2, right? We just covered the first couple of things in chapter 2. Any questions on that sheet?
No.
All right, so.
Will a completed version like this that you've made markings on be available online?
I could do that. I could do the same thing. I'm glad you said that, because the sheet that we did yesterday together, I could put that up online also. Can somebody shoot me an email right now and say, don't forget to do that?
I got it.
Thank you. I remember when I had class in class, I would call myself on the phone and say, hey, Jeff, don't forget to. Yeah, so again, if you do it this way in blue, you have to use class boundaries up and down by a half so that they all line up together. If you do it the way in red, you don't need to do that. If I had done it the way I had in red, then it would have been 61, 65, 69, blah, 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 blah. Right? Everybody with me?
Mhm.
So there's a trade-off. It looks scary to some people because it's got inequalities and it's got X, but it's so much easier. All right, anyway, it's up to you. So let's do this. What time is it? Ooh. I'm gonna do a couple more things and then we'll call it a day. Since I didn't give us like a huge break, I'm not gonna keep us the whole time, so don't worry. Does somebody remember what was the main kind of Greek letters that we talked about yesterday when I was talking about the mean?
Sigma and mu.
Some?
Good. Sigma and mu.
Mu,
So sigma
yeah.
is for the summation of stuff. And mu is what? What does mu mean?
Average?
Which one?
The population?
Good. Population mean. And does somebody remember what the symbol was for sample mean?
It was bar over X or something like that.
X bar. X bar. Yeah, bar over the X. So let's kind of remember all this stuff.
Sorry, sigma means what?
Hold on. I'm going to put it up here.
He's gonna write some though.
So sigma of something means.
care, bro. It's all good, man.
Can't really see the board.
Zero, two,
Too
roll.
high.
Hold on. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. All right. So then,
Yeah, Jeff, that was funny. That was really funny.
you like my shirt? Look, it's so mathematical. All right.
Oh my god.
So sum of something. So there's got to be something here for this to make any sense. Sum up those somethings. Mu is population mean. X bar is population sample mean. So the formula for the mean we got was this one. It's really the same stupid formula. Now, to be honest, for some reason, the book uses a capital N here. That's dumb. N just means the number in your group, be it a population or a sample. Okay. All right. Real quick thing about this. I think I did this yesterday, but if I had what would the sum of X be if this was my data? What would the sum of X be?
14.
14. How would you figure out the sum of X minus 2 squared?
Square 12. Was that 144?
No.
You would
X,
take the one.
real quick. X is not 14.
Oh no, okay.
Sum of X is 14. So what do you do? You cover this up and you say, I need to figure out a bunch of those so then I can add them up.
Okay.
So now watch what you can do. What's X minus 2 for each one of these? What's X minus, if this is X, what's X minus 2?
-1.
Good.
0.
0.
2.
2. 5. And then what's,
Square.
yeah, X minus 2 squared. So I just have to square each one. You guys see what I'm doing right now?
Mhm.
This isn't heavy, intense calculations. It's just, we are going to see formulas that look like this, and you're going to have to kind of construct what you need. So you cover the sums and you say, I need a bunch of those. All right, let me make a bunch of those so then I can do what this says, which is sum them up. I can't sum them up until they exist. Right? So they're about to exist now. -1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0. 2 squared is 4. 5 squared is 25. So what is the sum of X minus 2 squared?
30.
I like it. You guys, does that make, we're going to see a lot of formulas that have this symbol in it. So you cover it up and you say, let me make a column of those because then I can just add them up. That's all that says. Okay. Yeah, let me do, all right, we're just gonna do 2 quick little things, okay? So there's the mean.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said okay.
Okay, I'm gonna erase this. What does the mean measure? When you calculate an average, what are you trying to feel for?
The middle.
Middle number.
Good. It is one way to find the middle of a set of data that takes into account the values of the data. We've already discussed another way to find the middle earlier. What was that one?
Medium.
Medium.
Median.
So the mean is what we call average in everyday language, but it's called the mean officially. So the mean is one measure center. So these are all measures of center. Makes it sound so. So this could be mu for the population. This could be X bar for the sample. Right, no big deal. Median, which we also know as Q2, which we also know as P50. Is everybody with me? Middle. So end of the second quarter would be halftime. 50% of the way in would be the middle. This doesn't give a shit what the values are. What else? Oh, the symbol for median looks like X bar that had a rough night. This little bar got all messed up. So it's X tilde. Right? Little tilde symbol. Not tilde Swinton, but the tilde symbol. Not tilde field. All right, Jeff, shut up. And there is another method to find the center. Let me ask you this. What kind of data, quantitative or qualitative, do these work on?
Quantitative?
It's got to be quantitative, correct? It's really hard. In fact, I would say impossible to add hair colors, correct? You could do some weird shit in numerology and say, well, if I call B2 and it will shut up, that's not real.
Yeah, what about like indigo or violet?
Yeah, dude. And then what about all the colors we haven't given names to? Because there's
Like
an infinite number.
Dude. Doesn't Kim Kardashian have a color?
I don't care. Now, the third method is going to be the method that works for qualitative data also. That only, it's only fair. And this one I said earlier also. Does somebody remember what the mode was?
Most commonly occurring number.
Yeah, occurs the most. So how would that work with qualitative data? Well, if I was writing down hair colors, couldn't I tell which hair color occurs the most? We would call that the modal hair color. Ooh. Does that make sense? Or if I was writing down types of cars that were in the parking lot, I could figure out the modal car type. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Just what occurs the most. So with numbers, I forgot to do that. That doesn't matter. What's the node here? Obviously. 2. So the mode is 2. What's the mode here?
1 and 2.
Good. So what do you think we call it? There's 2 modes. So like
bimodal.
Bimodal. I love it. Don't judge it. It's bimodal.
Everyone's a little bimodal.
This is true. And then what do you think I call it if there were 3? Huh?
Modal.
Trimodal. And then past that, we just say there's no mode. So what the mode is trying to capture is where does it seem like data is clustering? Right. So like if I graded a bunch of quizzes and I had 30 people get a 76, I'm like, what? There's got to be a reason they all got a 76. So there's a certain combination of problems they made that they all made the same problem or something maybe. And
that's like the cheater.
Could be that too, but normally what it means is there's an idea they didn't understand and it showed up enough to make exactly 24 points missed. Does that make sense? Trust me, that's happened to me many times. Okay. I think that's enough. That's enough. I don't want to keep you too much longer. That's a good place to stop. Tomorrow, we will definitely finish up chapter 2. Come ready with your questions about chapter 1 since the quiz is tomorrow, right? So the very first thing we're going to do in class tomorrow is just devote time to questions about chapter 1 since that's what the quiz is going to be on. The quiz is going to open up after the class tomorrow. And like I said, I'll give you at least 24 hours to do it. So it's actually going to be due after class tomorrow. You cannot take the quiz while you're in class. I will know if you are. So Yeah, just don't do it. I've had that happen. It's really neat when it happens. That should kind of make sense, right?
How do we clear our lists?
You hit stat, and then you can actually, all right.
See clear list. Duh. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then you can tell it. Do you guys see the comma on your calculator?
Fair argument.
It's above with the 7.
It's below the 7 or above the 7. So if you do clear list, you can tell it L1, comma, L2, comma, L3, and keep going, and it'll clear all of them. Does that make sense? In case you're curious why there's punctuation in your calculator. There's also an exclamation point in there, which means something mathematical.
Wait, when I hit clear list, I get error.
All right, let me see. Hold on.
You have to put what list it is. You have to put that as
Yeah.
L1 that you're clearing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the whole commas thing.
Thank
Yeah, you
you.
got to tell it which list to clear. Poor little thing. Yeah. We can take Friday morning if we work Thursday night. Oh, oh yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, right? Oh yeah, yeah. We don't
Yeah.
even have class on Friday, so that's even better. So nobody's going to be. We don't even have class on Friday. So yeah, I'll probably make it do Friday afternoon or evening. Yeah. Because I'm well aware of, I mean, when I was going to college, I had 3 jobs and I walked uphill both ways. No, I actually did have 3 jobs because I was going to college paying my own way. Has anybody filled out the FAFSA? You know what the FAFSA is? And then they tell you your family contribution or something, or your parental contribution. I always laugh at that because they couldn't contribute anything. So
I'm still getting an error when I hit clear alpha L and then 2.
Alpha? No, dude. All right. Do you see right above 1, right above 2? It says L1, L2.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
No. That was not a dumb thing at all. That actually makes sense. That you're fine. Just they have a special place to reference lists. Don't worry.
Got you.
Yeah. Don't talk bad about my students. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, you're free to go.
I have a question. And it's regarding the homework for section 2.2, since we were just talking about histograms. And I'm looking at 78A. And so I don't know how would I explain this? Because what is it? 78A. I'll put up.
All right, where's 78? Here we go. 78. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. So you see how there's the 0 number of movies and the frequency is 5?
Yes.
So if we're looking at the X and Y axis.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I think I know what your question is, though.
Yeah, where do I start because you don't start at 0.5, you started right on the line, right?
So here's what you can do.
That's how I
see how this one doesn't really have classes, right? Doesn't have like from 0 to something. So what you can actually do is you can actually use midpoints. And then you can build like you'd have you still don't want gaps. I'm not saying this is the answer. You with me? But it could look something like this, right?
Can I show you mine and you can tell me if I did it right, or would that just
does it look like this, or what'd you do?
it does look like that, but I like the points are not in the middle and it's not 0. I have the points as 0.5.
All right, go ahead and show me.
5.